Hello students, welcome to Learner's Planet. Let's continue with the chapter Crop Production and Management. In the earlier session, I explained to you the initial steps of the crop production and their management. That was how the soil is turned and it is loosened, then how the sowing of seeds take place, isn't it? So after that point, now the next step is the water supply. So in today's session, I'm going to explain you that how this water is supplied to the crop fields and what are the different sources for this thing. So this water is very important for the growth and the development of the plants. You know, the supply of water to the crops at a different interval by the human efforts is known as the irrigation. This water is of course supplied to the fields, and that is it is sprayed over the soil. From the soil, the plant roots, they absorb the water from there. See, the water which is present in the soil, it is having the dissolved oxygen. This oxygen is required for the respiration process in plants, right? And this respiration over there, it provides the energy to the plants for the growth. Besides this, the minerals or the nutrients which are present in the soil, they get mixed up with the water, and thus along with the water, these minerals are also absorbed. So directly the minerals and nutrients cannot be absorbed, but the water, it helps in such type of absorption. So now this way you can understand that why this water is so important. Now of course, the if the water is supplied in less quantity or it is oversupplied, both things are going to damage the crop fields, or if it is going to affect the crop production. So this is why that it is said that the supply is at a different or a regular intervals, right? Besides this, this water is also helping in maintaining the moisture of the soil, and this moisture, as I said, it is important for the healthy growth of the plants. Besides this, it is also maintaining the texture of the soil and is supporting the growth of microbes over there. So besides this, the point is that the amount of water and the frequency at which it should be supplied, that is the time period, the regular interval, it varies from one crop to the another one. So now we need to know that what are the sources of water from where the irrigation or the supply of water is possible. Well, the common sources of irrigation or the water are like wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. Some pictures are shown here. This first one is the simple dig bit, right? It is having a particular depth. Land is dig up to a particular depth from where the water is exposed. Fine. The next is this one is the tube well. This picture is showing the canal, and here is the river lift system. River lift, that means a direct stream is cut to the site of product, that is the crop site. Now these are the reservoirs. They are serving as the reservoir of the water. Now the thing is, in the field we need to supply this water to the particular site, right, where the seeds have been sown, where the plants are present. So how this transfer is done? I will just mention some of the traditional and the modern methods. Well, some of the traditional methods of irrigation are moat, that is known as the pulley system, or chain pumps, dhekli and rahat. There are others also. Now you can see these two pictures, that how these it is actually managed. These wheels, or they are actually operated either manually or with the help of animals, or even they are the water is lifted from these sources with the help of the pumps that are running on the diesel, biogas, electricity or solar energy or other source of energy. So ultimately this water is transported to the site of production. Now these are the traditional methods, and they are actually they need more labor and it is time consuming. So nowadays there are the modern methods for the purpose of irrigation. Let me show you that. See, the one of the modern method is the sprinkler system. In this sprinkler system, pipes are actually arranged in the fields over there, right? These pipes, they are perpendicular. That means the vertical pipes are arranged over these horizontal pipes. Fine. Now, from they are actually joined to the main pipeline, and when the water is required, these nozzles are opened so that the water is running through these pipes, and through these nozzles which are perforated at the top of the vertical pipes, the water is actually sprinkled over the field. Also, these nozzles which are present here at the top, they are of rotating type, right? So as they rotate, the water is circulated in all directions. So it serves as a, I mean, it's something like a rain, right? And of course the nozzles and other things are also there which are controlling the pressure also. So this is one of the very good method and is very useful for the sandy soil. Next is the drip system. Now in this drip system, pipes are arranged in the fields, and they are having the nozzles over there, or they are actually having the pores at the regular this distances. So whenever the water supply is required, these pipes are actually opened and the water is supplied through this. Now from these particular perforated pipes or from the pores, the water is released out in the very controlled manner. That is, it is just drop wise, or it is under the pressure control. So the water is actually supplied at the root position of these plants. So there is no wastage of the water also, and the required amount of water is supplied to the fields. And since the water is transferred in the drops, so it is known as a drip system. So you can think that how much easy and time saving process is this, isn't it? Well, now by these steps, now it is seen that of course the production is quite managed. Now the thing is, these growing plants, they need to get protection also. These fields or these plants are having a danger, or they are having a threat because of the some microorganisms which can cause disease in them, or the growing weeds, the unwanted plants which are growing in the fields. So they can actually affect the productivity or the product yield from the farmlands. So now let us see that how this unwanted growth of the plants can be controlled. Well, I hope you understand what are these weeds. Weeds are the undesirable or the unwanted plants which are growing naturally along with the crop plant. So these plants, when they are growing, they basically they inhibit the growth of the actual plant, right, or the seeds which are sown intentionally. They actually, as they're growing, so they also need water, space, as well as nutrients. So these weeds, they start competing with the crop plants for the various basic requirement like water, nutrients, space, and light. So of course when such competition is there, the growth of the crop plant is going to be inhibited, and this is the reason that the yield from the crop field may be affected. Now the thing is, if we have to increase the production, then the weed control is required. The weeds are not allowed to grow, or if they have grown over there, they should be removed from the main field. So the process of removal of weeds is known as the weeding. These weeding it is done in different ways, and as I said, is really very important. Well, it is not only important for the crop plants, but also there are some weeds which may be poisonous for animals as well as the human beings. So during the harvesting period, maybe it happened that along with the main crop, these weeds are also coming in the food product or into the crop. So when they are consumed by the animals during grazing, or by the human beings while eating it, so it can have the toxic effects over them. So now let's see that how this weed control or weeding can be done. Well, there are different weed control methods. Number one is mechanical, then chemical, and biological. Mechanical, it means the removal of weeds either by plowing or by hand hoeing. So it is done either with simply with the hands, or it can be done with by using the by some tools, right? Next is the chemical. Chemical, it includes the use of specific chemicals which are when sprayed over the fields or over these weeds or the plants, they just kill them or they inhibit the growth of the weeds. So such type of chemicals, they are known as the weedicides, right? Then the next method is the biological method. In biological method, specific insects are actually allowed to grow in the crop field. These insects, they are actually feeding on the weeds. They use the feed as their own food material, or they are affecting the growth of the weeds, and thus the weeds can be removed by such agents. Now, when the weedicides are used, it is important that whatever food product we are using, right, they should be washed properly before our consumption, as they can have the poor effect on our health also, right? So this is how this weed control is done. Now the next is after the crop is now ready, right? It has to be harvested further, right? So the next step in the agricultural practice is the harvesting. This harvesting, it is defined as the cutting of the crop after it is mature or after its maturation. Now it can be done either manually with the help of some sickle or some machine which is known as harvester, or again it is done by using the large scale machines, right? In the harvested crop, the grain seeds, they are needed to be separated. See, if it is vegetable or fruit or different type of material, then the thing is different, right? But if it is like pulses, cereals, or these grains, then in that condition, the grains, they have to be separated from the outer skin, that is known as the chaff, right? So for this purpose, a threshing step is done. That means the outer it is transferred into the thresher, where the outer skin or this chaff is removed, or it is separated from the seeds. Now what will happen? We are having the two things together, grains which are separated from the chaff. So further, the next step is the separation of chaff and the seeds, and this separation is actually done with the help of the different machine. Even it can be done at a small scale, manually, with the if the farmer is having the small holding of the land. So in that purpose, this manual separation is actually known as the winnowing. In that condition, wind is playing a very important role. This material, that is seeds, along with the chaff, separated chaff, they are allowed to fall from a particular height, and as they are falling down due to the wind, the chaff is separated and is collected at a longer distance, and at the particular site the seeds are separated. So this process is known as the winnowing. Now after this step, the next step is the proper storage of the product. So let's see how this storage is to be done. See, these grains or the food material, it should be properly stored. And properly stored in the sense that it depends that it has to be stored for a very long period of time, or for short duration, or it is stored in the storehouses or in the malls or wherever. So accordingly, prior to its initial storage, these grains, specifically these pulses or these type of material, they should be properly dried in the sun or in the dryers if it is at a large scale. This drying is a very essential step. The reason is that because if there is moisture, right, then there will be the growth of the pest or bacteria or the fungus or other microorganisms can grow over there, and of course such type of growth can damage the quality of the of these products. So the very first step should be the proper drying of the product. Now after that, they should be properly filled in either jute bags or in the metallic bins. Besides this, if it is at a large scale, then it should be properly, it should be done in silos or the granaries, so that it is properly protected from the rats and the insects and other type of organisms. Also, it should be treated with various chemicals like some pesticides or some other insecticides, so that this growth of the pest is controlled. Even the natural product, that is the dried neem leaves, they can be specifically used in such type of conditions. And of course, the main objective of this step is the prevention of or the protection of these grains from any type of infection or the attack of the pest. So this is how the agricultural practices are performed for the crop production. Now, in the earlier session, in the beginning, I just said that food it can be obtained either from the plant resources or from the animal resources. So how it is done through the plants, that I have explained here in the crop production. The another way is to obtain it from the animals. So if the food is to be obtained from animals, then the animals, they have to be reared at home or in farms. They should be provided with the proper food, shelter and care, and the breeding is also properly managed. And and this practice where this is performed, that is known as the animal husbandry. So some examples of this thing is like eggs are obtained from the hens, isn't it? Then similarly, the milk which is obtained from the cows or buffaloes or other cattle. Besides this, these organisms are also the male organism of the same type, that is ox or bull. They are actually reared for the purpose of this labor work, like bullock carts, or for agricultural practices, isn't it? So such practices are known as the animal husbandry, and some common examples of animal husbandry are poultry farming, cattle farming, fish production, bee farming, and so on. Now all these topics you are going to study in your higher standards. So this is all about this chapter. Further, I will come with some another topic. Till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day.